Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, family.
Shalom, Israel. We want to give all honor, thanks, and praise to the Most High, who you guys call God. You guys don't know any better. His name is Yahweh, and to his son, Hamashiach Yahweh, who you erroneously called Jesus Christ.
That's right.
You are the Battle Axes of the Most High, and we are here to wake up and open the eyes of the so-called black and the so-called indigenous people scattered to the four corners of the earth. You are God's children, the children of Israel, according to the Bible.
Mhm.
Today, we're going to get right into our lesson. Today's lesson is Joyfulness and Gladness of Heart. I came up with that title because I noticed that as we bring out the truth and we share with a lot of different people the holy days or the Sabbath days or the dietary law or even the dress code, and in my opinion, dress code and holidays were some of the easiest things for me to convert or change or adapt to. But I noticed that as we bring it out and we share this with people, people have a certain feeling of grief when we tell them that Saturday is the Sabbath day, or they ought not to eat pork, or they should wear fringes. Women should wear skirts or dresses. These things seem to be a burden or a negative to people.
Right.
So let's just jump right into it. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47.
Bring it out.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God
Wait, so because we don't serve the Most High with what?
with joyfulness
Uh-huh.
and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Stop right there. So for the abundance of all things, we should be serving the Most High with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Now, when you go into the scripture and you find the scripture says that, you know, all the stuff that he said, all the blessings that he said, he would bless us with and put upon us for following these commandments. The scripture said that he followed his part. Now, even in today's state, we could be a whole lot less. Things could be a whole lot worse. Yes, we've endured slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights movement, and a lot. Okay, Black Lives Matter movement, and I was gonna say and a lot of other things. And some things are pretty much still the same as they were during civil rights, and in some places Jim Crow. But we could still be in those situations at the highest state. We could still be in a situation or in a place where slavery is live and well and running rampant. And so you notice that the Most High says that we should serve him with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Right now, if you have a home, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, shoes on your feet, if you're getting up every day and you can get up and go to work every day, that's the abundance of all things. We should be glad and serve the Most High with joyfulness and gladness of heart that we have our health, that we have what little wealth or with a lot of wealth we may or may not have. We should be glad. We should be serving the Most High with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the friends and families or for our comrades that we have. For the Most High protecting us when he could have forsaken us, but we don't. It's an issue with us.
Right.
Soon as you show people how to love the Most High, how to worship, how to serve the Most High, it's an issue. It's a struggle. Read that one more time for me. All right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47.
Bring it out.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God
So because you don't serve the Most High, read.
with joyfulness
Uh-huh.
and with gladness of heart,
Because you don't serve him with joyfulness and gladness of heart, read
for
on.
the abundance of all things.
Read on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee
Uh-huh.
in hunger
And what?
and in thirst
And what?
and in nakedness
And what?
and in want of all things.
So stop right there. You notice how because we didn't serve him with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, the very last the last line he read said, and in want of all things. Now you're not going to have the abundance of all things. Now you're going to constantly be in a state of wanting all things. We used to have a fertile land. I know that today when we look on the map and we see Israel, we see that little bitty slither. But when you really look at the borders that the Most High laid down, our land is part of Egypt is our land. Part of Saudi Arabia and Ethiopia and all those different places that they say, oh, That's where the whole world, that's where civilization began. Well, guess who it really belongs to? That really belonged to us.
That's right.
That's the borders of Israel. That's supposed to be us. That's what the Most High gave us. They said that land over there is so fertile, you could just drop a seed in a matter of weeks to a month, you start seeing the sprouts. They say that all the great minerals and all the gold and the silver and the diamonds and all that stuff is there. Well, guess what it's supposed to belong to? All that water that's over there. Look at all the water that's surrounding that land. We should not be in the state of want of all things. Read the rest of that for me, out.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee.
Now we already understand through slavery, the yoke of iron was on your neck. And if you look up a yoke of iron, it's usually a big thing where it comes out and it has bells at the ends. That was for runaway slaves to get caught in the brush. Or it would have bells at the end, so as he would run away, they could hear him. No matter how far away he got, he always sounded like a bell was going. And now that very same yoke of iron, it may not be around your neck per se, but it's around your neck because it's turning to your mind. And this is the state of mind that we're in. Well, we see things and we say, well, everything's fine now. I own this car, or I have this house, I have this education, or I dress like this. When those things these are the things that, what it say? In want of all things. See, we want that stuff. We don't understand that we had that in abundance.
Right.
That's what the previous scripture is breaking down. Read on for me, y'all.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flight, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And of course, if you're paying attention, all you Christians out there, if you guys are paying attention, then this right here in itself is just an easy explanation for the Europeans who came and enslaved us. Whether you're dealing with the Portuguese, whether you're dealing with the Spanish, whether you're dealing with the English, man, those were language that we weren't really familiar with. We were more so familiar with what? The Hamites or the Africans around us, the Europeans or the white people that we were familiar with were what? Romans and Greeks. So when the Portuguese came or the Spaniards came and so on, those were languages we was kind of like, oh, I ain't familiar with that. You got something you want to pull?
No, I ain't got.
You got something you want to pull?
No.
Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 20.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 20. Let me pause just for a second. Everybody get there. Everybody there out there? All right. Because I'm trying to be Brother Sam because he's been on fire lately against the preacher. I got to be on it.
Right there.
Hey, this is book of 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 20.
Bring it up.
For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of God.
Because they what?
Because they despise the law of God.
See, and our people need to understand, because we don't serve him in joyfulness and gladness of heart, it's going to be a lot of us who going to perish because we despise this law, because we see it as a negative. We see it as a burden. We look at not doing something on Saturday, call it Saturday. My elder called it the 7th day. So on Saturday, for you Christians out there who don't know how to look at your calendar and read it, once you tell them that the Sabbath day is on Saturday, they feel like it's a burden. It's a negative.
Right.
It's bad.
Right.
So he's telling you right there, many that perish in this life. In this life. Why? Because you caught up in the life. What does this life have to offer you? Struggle.
Right.
Going to work every day. The Most High, everybody wants Saturday off. As soon as the Most High tell you to take Saturday off, you upset about it. Right? He say perish in this life because they despise the law of God. Read on.
That is set before them.
Which is set before them. It's already been written. You didn't have to go find it somewhere. It's everybody, grandmama and granddaddy and big mama and all of them. Everybody got this Bible in the house. Now, I'm not saying people open it up and read it, but everybody got it in their house. So the commandments have always been sitting right there in front of you. He said that's been set before you this day. Read on.
Right. I won't say, I know you're going to keep. I know you were going to keep reading.
Yeah.
So like this. Verse 20. For God hath given straight commandments to such as came, what they should do to live.
So what should we do to live? The commandments. He just said he gave you straight commandments. This is why the Most High, when we read it in our King James Bible, it says "thou shalt not." But when you understand, if you learn anything about Hebrew, you don't see "thou shalt" in Hebrew. It's no kill, no steal. He making it straight and forward, easy and plain for you. No kill, no steal, no adultery. It's simple.
Simple.
Read on.
Verse 20 for the top.
21 from the top.
21 for the top, so like it. But God has given straight commandment
Read.
to such as came, what they should do to live,
Read.
even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
What we should observe to avoid punishment. When you deal with Christian church, or people deal with their own understanding, whether you believe in the Bible or Christianity, Catholicism, or you believe in your own self-thoughts, when you claim to be spiritual, you understand that all the negativity you do here in this world, in this realm, guess what? It's going to be you're going to have to pay for that at some point, whether it's in this life or in the next, as they like to say, right? Well, look at what he's telling you, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Well, what should we be observing? How about the Sabbath day? That's a simple one. Everybody, like I said, everybody wants the Saturday off until the Most High say take it off. Well, he's telling you, man, take it off. Observe the Sabbath day. What else is he telling you? Man, people love to say, oh yeah, I know the white man did this to those Indians, right? And then go out buy the biggest turkey they can for Thanksgiving, right? But the Most High already has holidays that he wants us to celebrate. And he put them in Leviticus, in the commandments, for us to understand. You don't got to go off and celebrate a holiday that's about the destruction of your own people. Right. You got to go out and celebrate a holiday that's about you being the barbecue, or like the 4th of July. You don't got to go out and celebrate a holiday that's about complete confusion, Christmas, where you bow down to the tree god, or to Easter, which if you go into the history of Easter, that's so confusing. I'm not even going to get into that. That's another lesson for another time. Can you read that one more time?
Yeah, verse 21.
Yes.
Verse 21. For God had given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
So that in itself is very straightforward. Like he said, he gave us straight commandment to what we should do, so we should live. And what we should observe to avoid punishment. You have something you want to add?
I got a little precept on that, but if y'all keep reading, and he was going into like the holidays, but if you keep reading down 22, 23, it's just, well, let's go ahead and read 22.
Let's get it.
Let's go and read it. Verse 22, I'm going to just read it. It's you and I already broke it down. Verse 22, that's why I'm going to read it, yeah. Because I have a problem reading my own precepts. I like the way I read my precepts, okay? Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things. So that's kind of going into like the holidays, but damn, all these other nations celebrate this and that. We don't want to listen to what the Most High tells us to do. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in right now. It says to do these straight commandments to avoid punishment. Okay, so later on, when we get deep into this lesson, I got a little story to tell about Israel, hard-headed Israel, man. Okay, I'm gonna read verse 23 also. It says, and deceive themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. You see what I'm saying? We supposed to be following the ways of the Most High. Now, my precept, the precept to 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 20 is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 11. In fact, go ahead and read that, Sam. First, 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 11.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 11.
Read out.
And they that have loathed my law.
And they have loathed my law. His law is grievous. I know I can sort of bring out some stuff on that already. I already got his lesson plan, but yeah, it's saying the same thing. We every time we try to tell y'all, hey, you can't buy or sell on a Sabbath, man. We just but this and that, but it's a that, man.
It's simple living right
there. Right, simple living right there. You know what I'm saying?
It's still gonna be there at the end of the day, too.
Right. keep reading.
Well, they have had yet liberty.
While we had yet liberty, we had freedoms at the time. Like I said, we had the abundance of things. You know what I'm saying? And now we ain't got nothing. He took all those great things from us. While we yet had liberty, we had the freedom to do this thing. We were just talking about tabernacles. Next year we're gonna do the whole week. Man, we was able to do those things, but now it's hard, man. We have to keep these laws in our captivity now, man. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, while we had liberty, while we had freedom to do these things, man, we loathe this law. We despise it. These laws were grievous to us. All right, keep on reading now.
And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them.
And even when the Lord said, hey, all right, I forgive y'all, come on back to me. Let's get this right. What happened?
Understood not, but despised it.
Still despise the Most High laws, man. Israel hard-headed. Okay. So go ahead.
Let me go in on that too. Let me get some of that verse 11. Read that again for me, y'all.
And they, the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
And they that have loathed my law, while they have yet had while they had yet liberty.
Stop right there. Now, while the brother was going into back then when we could do it, I'm looking at it like this. Look at us currently right now, while the Most High gave us what you Christians love to call grace, which is a period of time
Bring it out.
in which, you know what, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get these things together, to get yourself together. Start observing my Sabbath day. Start observing the new moon. Start observing the Passover. Right? While we had liberty, read on.
And when as yet place of repentance was open unto them.
See, we still like he talking about you giving that liberty for repentance, for you to stop the things that you're doing. Man, the Most High understand that it's a process in this. You becoming a new person every day. You don't just find out the truth and then all of a sudden you go home, all your clothes is fringed, and now you learn things. Oh, so you mean I can't do birthdays? Dang, I didn't know that. Oh, you know what? I have to wear fringes on all my clothes? Oh, I thought that's just what y'all was doing for fashion, right? Read on.
Understood not, but despised it.
They despised the law. Go back to 7 and
21. Y'all want to go to 20?
Start at verse 20 and read.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
For they be many that perish in this life.
In this life, they're going to perish. Why?
Because they despise the law of God that is set before them.
That's put before them. Read on.
For God has given straight commandment to such as
He
Cain.
gave us plain, simple commandments. Read.
What they should do to live.
How we supposed to live. Read.
Even as they came.
Uh-huh.
And what they should observe to avoid punishment.
What we should observe to avoid punishment. Read 22 like you did.
Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
They imagine vain things. Where's your imagination come from? In your mind.
Your mind.
And what are those vain things? Man, it's for the kids. In your mind, I'm going to do this for the kids. The Most High already gave you a holiday that you could be doing. Guess what? For you and your children. He already said, what did he say? Teach this to your children and your children's children, right?
Right.
No, we're going to teach them a little bit of this, a whole lot of that. Read on, huh?
So like it. Verse 22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him that spake against him and imagined vain things.
Read on.
Verse 23. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds.
By their what?
By their wicked deeds.
Notice that the deeds are wicked. The doings are wicked, which means, guess what? Your righteousness have to be doings. You need to be doing something. You can't just say, I got faith or I have grace, and now you think that you're good. You need to be doing something. What is it you need to do? Man, do these laws. That's the best and only way for you to get it. That's not, forget the best. That's the only way for you to get it. Read on.
Verse 23, I'm going to start from the top. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds.
Read.
And said of the Most High that he is not.
And see, this is why we get so many foolish people out here who think on themselves.
That's right.
Because they feel like the Most High is not. And read.
Right. That he is not. And knew not his ways.
They didn't know his ways. Read on.
Yep. But his law have they despised.
They did what?
But his law have they despised.
I ain't got to break that down. Read.
And denied his covenant.
See, we don't understand that. Really, the covenant, the contract, or the covenant there is what? That we would be a special people if we keep the commandment. That's the covenant. That we would have his protection if we keep his commandment. This would, when we say, you know, for all you Christians out there, you love to say that the Most High, he fights your battles. Guess what? That's the covenant. And the way your end of the covenant goes is you keeping that them laws. Read.
And his statutes have they not been faithful.
Read on.
And have not performed his work.
They have not did what?
And have not performed his work.
We will not do these laws. We find this grievous. We find this to be work. We find this that we think it's a negative. You got something you want to pull?
Precept for works, I believe, is Exodus 18 and 20. The works is keeping laws, statutes, and commandments, y'all. That's all I want to point out.
You got something you want to pull?
I was just going to jump and do Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah, I want to let you teach your class because I got a whole lot I want to fill out. So go ahead and teach, all right?
Actually, I would like to get Deuteronomy 28:15 because when he's talking about, when we go over verse when we start off at verse 47, he said, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart.
Right.
The previous, if you go up 2 verses, he says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee until thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandment and his statutes which he command thee. So he's telling you that these commandments, what you don't do these things, that all these curses are going to come upon you. So, well, what happened? Because you didn't serve the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for abundance of all things, that all these curses, they're going to come upon you. We're going to get just a few curses real quick.
Before you go into the curses, can we just give the other side to it really quick?
What's that?
I intend to.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do the curses, then I'm going to show the blessing. Bring it out.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come up on thee and overtake thee.
Stop right there. So notice he said that all his commandments and his statutes, all means the total complete sum, right? And then he throws something else on there just so you understand. And so you have to keep all these commandments and his statutes, right? Which I command thee this day. So you don't say, well, that's in Bible times. No, even today, this day, currently, right? Command thee this day that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Read on.
Curse shall thou be in the city, and curse shall thou be in the field.
Well, we already understand it in the city. Detroit, Dallas, Los Angeles, Chicago, Tennessee, man, wherever
in
you
London,
want to go.
In the hood,
come on,
in the barrios,
come on,
in Brazil,
give it to me.
Australia, not Antarctica, but look, all over this place,
all over.
We scattered everywhere.
The cities all over the world. We're cursing those cities, and what we usually do when we out there street teaching is we break down the field, and what we talking about? Sugar cane field, cotton field, tobacco field. Yeah, guess what? My brother like to say in the work field, right? Read on.
Curse shall be thy basket and thy store.
Wait, matter of fact, I'm gonna skip down. Skip down to give me verse 21.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether there goest to possess it.
Read on.
The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with extreme burning.
Read on.
And with the sword.
So he giving you all these different illnesses, and then he put the sword. Today, of course, the modern day sword today will be your gun. So this is going into war, right? Read on.
And blasting, and with mildew,
and what?
And they shall pursue thee until thy perish.
No matter what, when pursue means to chase. So even if you think you're gonna run to Africa, like a lot of our people say they're gonna do, guess what? Them same curses gonna be right there waiting.
They're gonna be over there waiting on you already.
Waiting on you. Give me stay in Deuteronomy 28, jump down, give me 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
With what?
With madness.
And this is why, man, I know where I'm from. You can go anywhere, and it's always a bunch of homeless people. They talking to themselves, they going crazy. And you know what? When I was young, you just saw them as crazy people. You just saw them as the crazy bum, right? And really, we don't understand. This is a curse. The Most High smote us with madness. And what? Read.
And blindness.
And what?
And blindness.
And blindness. Now we understand that blindness is loss of sight, but really what it is today it's our loss of vision, or our loss of faith, our loss of hope. We don't have sight to see the Most High that He could even pull us through this. Why He let my grandmama die of cancer? If God real, then why the homies get killed all the time? Not the fact that they on the corner killing everybody else and gang banging and robbing, right? Read on.
And astonishment of heart.
And what?
And astonishment of heart.
Man, and this is why our people can't believe what we seeing out here. This is why it's my baby ain't never hurt nobody. Right? Or this is why it's so much it's so much disbelief or dismay where it's like, man, we got to get together. We got to do something. We can't believe what's going on. Read on, huh?
Yeah.
Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind grope it in the darkness.
Read.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
So stop right there, because we all want to prosper. We work overtime, we work double shifts, we work 3-4 jobs to prosper. Well, this is why we constantly in that state. I love to say this statement because if you pay attention to what I'm saying, it says a lot. When we work in all these jobs and we still living in the same neighborhood, and you still shop at the same grocery market, your children still go to the same public schools, guess what? It's like you run on a treadmill, running really hard, but you're not going nowhere. Read on.
And thou shalt be only oppressed.
Only what?
Only oppressed.
And right now, we've been oppressed since the time of our captivity. Man, if you define it, when you look up the word oppression, matter of fact, one of my favorite people to read on, Malcolm X, always talked about people being the oppressed people here in America, which is always us. Read.
And spoil evermore.
Read.
And no man shall save thee.
And no man shall save us. And listen, while I really admire Malcolm X, he couldn't save us. Marcus Garvey, another person I really admire and read up about a lot. And he has some wonderful ideas, but he couldn't save us. All those things were great, but they were lacking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Give me verse 32.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30.
Wait, matter of fact, before we even get into 32, I still want to break down 28 and 29 real quick, because he says, will smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope in the noonday. See, these things go together because of the madness and blindness of heart. The madness, blindness, and astonishment of heart. We will grope in the noonday, as the blind gropeth in the darkness. Right? When you go to certain neighborhoods, in LA, it's called the hoe stroll, right? And on the hoe stroll, it wasn't just women walking around. Like, a lot of times you have this idea in your mind that the prostitutes, they selling their money so they can get, they selling their body so they can get some money, so maybe they can support themselves. Usually, so they can feed their drug habit, man. Mm-hmm. And so this is why we walking around groping in the day as if it's noontime. This is why we out here with blindness. This is why we out here with madness. This is why we out here with astonishment of heart. Why? Because we trying to find an escape for the oppression that we in, that is spoken out in verse 29. 29 talk about the oppression. Well, we trying to find a way to escape that oppression. This is why our people own drugs. This is why our people are heavily into alcoholism, drug abuse. This is why it's a lot of times, this is why we do some of these things, man. Can you got something you want to pull?
Real quick, because it's on the subject real quick.
Do you think?
Hey, Sam, let me get Isaiah 59 and verse 10. So this is a direct precept. This is a direct precept to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 29. It's Isaiah 59 and verse 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 10.
Read out.
We grope for the wall like the blind.
Like I just say, we groping for the wall like the blind, man. It may not be physical blindness, but it's spiritual blindness.
Spiritual blindness.
Go ahead and read out.
And we grope as if we had no eyes.
Grope as we had no eyes. Read.
We stumble at noonday as in the night.
We stumble at noonday as in the night. Read.
We are in desolate places.
We are in desolate places. Dead men, man. We ain't got no life, man. We're right, you know. We still that valley of dry bones, man. We dead. We don't have any light. We can't see. The precept of light is Proverbs 6:24. 23. It's Proverbs 6:23. The law is the light, and when we ain't got no light, we blind. We spiritually blind. You know, just like, you know, Christ had to make Paul physically blind so he can see spiritually, so he can see the light. Christ had to teach Paul who he was and who his people was, and bring him back to the laws, man. Okay, I'm gonna just let you guys go. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Okay. That was pretty much it.
Go back to Deuteronomy 28. Give me verse 32. I'm just showing a couple of curses that we dealing with. We've been cursed in the city, cursed in the field. I showed mental illness as well as drug abuse and some issues. I show disease and sickness. Right. I just want to get this one, and then we're gonna get some the polar opposite of this. Get that from Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Read.
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
Matter of fact, No, that's good. Jump down and give me verse 41. Before you get that, but just thinking about it, our children will be given to another people. Well, we already know that in slavery that happened. We finna touch that too, the very next verse. But also that's dealing with is it DPSS out here?
Oh, you talking about
service?
Yeah.
You talking about
People who come-
CPS.
CPS out here.
CPS.
See out here, CPS, in where I'm from, DPSS, they'll come take your children, and there's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do.
Your son being bad, he wilding out, and you popping, and somebody run off and tail, they knocking at your door, and they don't have intents on talking. They're looking to take your child.
Right.
And then you can struggle with it all you want. If you fight them people or put up a struggle with them people, and they'll call the police. And
they definitely gonna take your child.
Yeah, now they for sure gonna do it.
They gonna take it.
There ain't nothing you can do about it. Go ahead, give me that in verse 41.
They need a little Sirach 30 in their life.
Right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
So you'll have children, but you won't be able to enjoy them. Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
And this is what happened to our children when we were in slavery. Simple and plain in that you didn't have no control over the children that you had birthed. They were yours outright. All right, bad enough that you didn't stole me. It's bad enough that you enslaved me. It's bad enough you beating me and making me and putting me through all this. Now I had children, and I can't even enjoy my children because you sold my children away to go do the same thing I'm doing in a whole nother state. These are the things that's going to come upon us because we don't serve the Most High with joyfulness and gladness of heart. Right. Now, just to get you the polar opposite, give me 28 and 1. Huh?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
So if you will listen diligently, read.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
To what?
To observe and to do all his commandments.
Notice he said the word observe as the same thing that was pulled up in 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 21. Observe. When you observe something, what are you doing? You observe Christmas. You observe Thanksgiving. You observe. You observe these things. And so this is what it's saying. What it's saying. You observe. Read.
To do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Look at that. He said to do all the commandments. Remember, I said all is the total sum of something, right? The complete and total sum of something, right? To do all the commandments which I commanded thee this day, again, not back in Bible times, this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above what?
High above all nations of the earth.
Above all nations of the earth. I don't really think you really need too much of a breakdown on that because that's it. Because right now we're the strongest, we're the fastest. We've invented almost everything. And everything that's positive in this on this earth, air conditioning. They like to say Benjamin Franklin did electricity and the light bulb. Come on, man. We can go down the line.
Right.
We can go down the line.
Damn near everything.
Damn near everything.
Everything is us, man.
And guess what? How are we not the top people? How does America owe us 40 acres and a mule and got us filling out their job application? That's crazy. Nigga, you owe me an application.
You owe me. That's right. That's right.
You got something you want to do?
Okay, I just want to give some synonyms of the word observe. He said to observe and do. So observe, it means watching, monitoring, to examine, to inspect, to survey, to study, man. You have to study this.
Study.
Precept for that is Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. I'll throw that out there.
Give me verse 2.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee.
And what?
And overtake.
So you're going to have blessings overtaking you. Who don't want that? Does that make sense? That the Most High says, if you do these things, you're going to have blessings that's just overtaking you. And then in the same chapter, 14 verses down, he said, you know what? If you don't do these things, all these curses going to overtake you. And we say, you know what? I'd rather the curses. Read on.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Read.
Blessed shall thou be in the city.
Blessed shall we be where?
In the city.
Here we go again. So instead of us being cursed in the city, now we blessed in the city. Read.
And blessed shall thou be in the field.
Now in the book of Matthew, we tell you that the world is the field. So in the whole world. But we prefer verses 15 through 68 over 28 through verses 1 through 14. You got something you want to pull?
I ain't got nothing right
I just want to land me back real quick. And for the scripture, the commandments are not grievous. So if we got 2 through 14, which is not hard, but we don't want to do them, we'll go rather do the hard stuff. Like, cursed shall they be in the city? Minus a Martin Luther King in every state, man. I just drove through like 7 of them and passed through like 7 different Martin Luther Kings. All of them look like Sunnyside.
That's true.
No matter what.
No, that's crazy.
Like, and then even if you got a little money, it's selfish of you because it's I.
You being an individual.
Yeah, individual, not a Israelite.
Right. I know.
It's about the nation, man. Yeah. And there's 12 other nationalities. It's 12 other. What I want to say. It's nation. No, we one nation.
No,
it's 12 other tribes. It's 11 other tribes than what y'all see right now, man. And we trying to wake up all the tribes, man, for real. Hey, it's a call. We like y'all food, Manessa, man. We like y'all food too, man. What's up, man? Sure, we supposed to be brothers. Go ahead.
So it's funny that the brother said that the commandment's not grievous. Let's get 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
For this is the love of God.
So if we say we love God and we say we supposed I'm a servant. You know, Christians love to say that. I'm a servant. I love God. My God, right? My Jesus. Right? We love Jesus and we love God. So how do we love God? Read on.
Once again, verse 3 from the top, 1 John chapter 5. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
So this is the love of God, that we keep the commandments. Read.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And what?
And his commandments are not grievous.
Commandments are not grievous. So we should be doing the commandments with joyfulness and gladness of heart. I know that when as a child going to church, I didn't quite understand the Sabbath day and all of that. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's for the Jewish people. And I didn't get it. Guess what? As a child going to church every Sunday, I'm in church at 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock, sleeping. Then my mom want to stay, let's stay for 11 o'clock service. Now I'm here till 1:30, right? Guess what I'm doing? Sleeping. And it got to a point where going to church was a burden. I didn't like it, right? And now I get more understanding. I have understanding. I try to keep the Most High's laws as best as possible. And I have my own children. When we show up for Sabbath service, my family's happy. My children are happy. When we celebrate the Passover or the new moon, man, we're happy. It's a joyous occasion.
Right.
It's not strictly business.
Right.
Let's get in, hear the songs, hear the pastor say a couple of words, pass the plate. Let me get up out of here. I did my job, right? Well, no, it's not like that here. It's a camaraderie. It's a family. It's a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood. It's nation building.
Right.
At the whole time. From the time we walk in, shalom, and we sit down and them scriptures being brought out, we smile and we enjoying it. Even when the scriptures cutting you up, you're like, man, that was dope. When it's all said and done, you go home. If the scriptures cut you up, you know what you need to work on. If you didn't get cut by the scriptures, all praise and lucky you for that lesson. But guess what? Just being around your brothers, being around your sisters, it brings joyfulness and gladness of heart. Doing the commandments should not be grievous to us.
That's right.
You got something you want to bring?
Precept.
Bring it out.
Now, Brother Sam. Okay. Proverbs. I want to get Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 17. Proverbs 8 and verse 17. Now that we know what the love of God is, okay, we can't give the Lord a hug and a kiss. Okay, anytime you see love in the scriptures, man, and it's come from the Most High, but every time you see love in the scripture, you got to keep the commandments. Okay, that's how you love God. Okay, go ahead and bring that out.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 17.
Bring it out. This is very simple. All right, read.
I love them that love me.
The Lord say, I love them that love me. Now, you see, when we didn't love him and it was grievous, man, the Most High put the smack down on us, man. This is not a game. Like, it's not a game, man. We have to love the Lord back. You know what I'm saying? We don't show the Lord, especially if you out there, you ain't keeping no commandments. You know, you just came from the store, the sun that went down on Friday evening. Now we actually in the Sabbath, man. Are you Christians out there? Y'all don't love God, man. The Lord say, I love them that love me. Read.
And those that seek me early shall find me.
Those that seek me early shall find it, man. You have to get into these scriptures. You have to get to know God. What's that? 1 John 2:2-3. Knowing him is keeping his laws. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and check right there.
God, that's fire. You got something you want to pull? Give me Joshua, the book of Joshua, chapter 24.
The book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 14.
Wait.
Now, therefore, fear the Lord.
Wait, so he's saying, and everything he said, and if you ever get a chance to get into Joshua, I know a lot of you Christians don't like to deal with the Old Testament. Joshua is a very powerful and very enlightening book, actually. So if you get a chance, y'all need to really read that thing and observe it, which means to study, right? So he's saying now, the reason why he's saying now, because he already laid down a whole bunch of understanding in the previous verses about us serving the Most High and about us choosing the Most High. So I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm just giving you an understanding of why he hit you with the now. Read.
Now, therefore, fear the Lord.
And what?
And serve him in sincerity.
In what?
In sincerity.
Man, you gotta, man, when you love the Most High and you come to serve him, you're supposed to serve in sincerity. Man, if you have a wife and you say, babe, can you make me a plate real quick? And she like, yeah, I'll make you a plate, all right? You damn near don't even want that food.
Man, it was a precept when Captain Jerubbaal had brought out talking about just what you're talking about. Hopefully I can send it to me, man.
Okay.
Right on what you're talking about right now. Go ahead. Bring that out.
So in sincerity, we gotta serve the Most High with sincerity, with gladness, with joyfulness and gladness of heart. Mm-hmm. This is how you're supposed to do it. The same way you wouldn't want your wife to do you like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Guess what? You tell your son to get up, go wash the dishes. He get up, stomping away to go do the dishes or take the trash out, and you want to light him up though, right? But that's because he's not. He got up to do it, but he didn't do it with joyfulness and gladness of heart or in sincerity, right? Read on, huh?
And in truth.
And in what?
And in truth.
One more time.
And in truth.
So the truth of the matter is that these holy days is recorded in Leviticus 23. Mm-hmm. The truth of the matter is the Sabbath day is mentioned in Leviticus 23. The truth of the matter is, when we try to bring out the Sabbath day to you all, please understand, the truth of the matter is that the Most High gave the Sabbath day before there was either Jew, Egyptian, or anything.
That's right.
It's the Sabbath of the Lord, not the Sabbath of the Jews, not the Sabbath of the Christians. It's the Sabbath of the Lord. And that's why I recorded in Genesis in the creation. So there should be no excuse of why we don't observe the Sabbath day. Read on.
And put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood.
So I'm not even going to deal with on the other side of the flood. I am going to deal with the gods that your father served, because our fathers all didn't know no better. My father is a really smart, intelligent man, and you know what he what was pictures all around his house, my grandma's house, white Jesus, the one that looked like a hippie.
That's the only Jesus I know and I love. What is that? Boy, that's the rollout good time.
And the crazy thing is, my dad being a smart dude, when I came into the truth and was like, Dad, this is what the Most High, this is what the scriptures say Christ looked like. He readily and quickly identified and said, yeah, you're right. But if I hold up a picture of a brother looking like this, he ain't gonna acknowledge that as Christ.
Nah, take that down.
Right? So we gotta serve in sincerity and in what?
And in truth.
And in truth. And put away the God which our fathers served on the other side of the flood. Read on.
And in Egypt. And serve ye the Lord.
And serve the Most High. Read.
And if it seem evil unto you.
Now watch this. Now look how Joshua's setting you up now. So if you feel like you don't want to serve the Most High, if it seems evil unto you, if it's a burden unto you, then what?
To serve the Lord. Choose you this day.
So choose. Make your decision. Don't try to straddle the fence. Go do your thing, man. Read.
Whom ye will serve.
So choose who you're going to serve. What?
Whether the gods which your fathers serve.
Whether you're going to serve white Jesus or Buddha or Allah or yourself, right? Read.
There were on the other side of the flood were the gods of the Amorites.
The Amorites.
Of the Amorites, in which, actually, like in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house.
So as for us who decide to wear these fringes and observe the Sabbath day, for us, what we gonna do?
We will serve the Lord.
We gonna serve who?
We will serve the Lord.
So we gonna serve the Most High. When you see us with the fringes on, and I know that there's some brothers in error. I know I'm sure that there's some snakes or some insincere brothers trying to move around amongst our nation. That happens everywhere and amongst everybody. So you can't point at one false or one wicked Israelite and say, look, all of them like that. That exists everywhere, right?
Right.
But when you see us out there, man, we out here because we want to serve the Most High. I'm not trying to please this brother. He not trying to please me. And the same with my brother over here. And the same with most of them brothers when you see on the corner with fringes that y'all afraid to talk to. We just here to serve the Most High, to do the Most High's will. You got something you want to pull?
Yeah, real quick.
Bring it up.
So I'm just warning y'all in the future. Joshua 24 and 14 is perfect for. I'm gonna wait till I get almost finished with the lesson, and then I'm gonna bring out how Israel's acting. After we came out of Egypt, with them, right? It's gonna be quick. So the precept for truth, as it says, Joshua 24 and 14. Go ahead and read that over. Right? Let me get these quick precepts.
Which one?
Oh, I'm gonna just read it. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 14. It says, "Now therefore, fear the Lord." The precept for fear is Psalms 111 and verse 10. It's keeping the commandments, just like fear the Lord. Okay, all right, and serve Him with sincerity and in truth. Okay, the precept for truth is Psalms 119 and 142, right? Okay, you want to read that one?
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142.
Right now,
thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
The Lord said, "Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness." And go ahead.
And thy law is the truth.
And thy law is the truth. Just like I said, the truth of the matter is by keeping the Sabbath day. That's law. Do what the Lord tell you to do. The law is the truth. Okay. All right. And the precept of righteousness is Deuteronomy 6 to 25. Everything goes back to the law, statutes, commandments.
It's simple.
Everything.
It really is.
Go ahead.
You got something you want to put off?
Yes. Let me just touch on the last part of Joshua chapter 24 and verse 14. The last part.
Okay.
I got it. Say
okay.
I got just the last part.
Right.
And serve ye the Lord. Man, us as Israelites, we trying to serve Yahweh and His Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Not gold, oil, and drugs,
that
man.
Part right there.
Look, today is Friday. It's a lot of gold and people mapping on their rides and all of that, man. And that's really who y'all serving. That's really y'all God.
Right.
If somebody tap y'all car, oh man, you're gonna throw a DF.
Right.
Oh my goodness. And then with oil, look, where it's all in your cup or all in your car, man, bro. That's who y'all worship, man. For real, gotta have some drink up in my cup and all of that stuff right there. And then the drugs. Oh my God. So I think if we eliminate the oil and the drugs, you can wear some gold. King Solomon had gold. Y'all ain't allowed to go. You think y'all got gold? That ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing, man. Look, that's our forefathers. We come from that, man. But we shouldn't be serving that. You see what I'm saying? Like it said in Genesis, man, for real. But I mean, like we was just going into in Genesis for real. Before we even got all of the extra stuff, we had the Sabbath.
We had the Sabbath.
We had the Sabbath. That was here for all that gold and all that, man. So just get your priorities right, man, and serve ye the Lord. For not the other to go or and drugs. That's all I
have. Stay in Joshua, go to chapter 22 and go to verse 5.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
But take diligent heed to the commandment and the law.
So he's saying take diligent heed to the commandment and the law. Read.
Which Moses, the servant of the Lord, charged you. To love the Lord your God.
To do what?
To love the Lord your God.
Now, start over from the top, because that way you can tie that in, and it makes more sense to people who, I ain't going to say who they are. Go ahead.
The book of Joshua, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
But take diligent heed to the commandment and the law, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, charged you. To love the Lord your God.
And to what?
And to walk in all his ways.
And to what?
And to keep his commandments.
See that? Read.
And to cleave unto him.
And to what?
And to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul.
This is simple. This is simple. The brother just said, it all come back to the commandments.
That's right.
So if you're going to serve the Most High, it come back to the commandments. Now, we understand, okay, where are the commandments? Okay, that's the first 5 books of the Bible, right? Okay, cool. Now you understand that. Now you got to understand to do it with sincerity, joyfulness, and gladness of heart. Be happy that you've been given grace to get things right, and say, you know what, I'm gonna repent and I'm gonna do what the Most High said to do. I'm gonna do things how the Most High said to do them. I'm gonna do things when the Most High said to do them. We obey our worldly parents. You know, and when your mother or your father tell you take out the trash, you don't wait until the very last minute until they finna bust you upside your head for not taking out the trash. You know why? Because you still finna get busted upside the head.
That's right.
So you think that your parents came up with that? They got that from the Spirit of the Most High.
Yeah.
And so if you think you can wait to the very last minute before the Most High decide to strike you to try to get it right, just go ahead and get that whoop.
That's right.
Because that's what's coming.
That's right.
You can't do that. Grace and faith are measured, and that's a precept. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna pull it right now. But these are things that we gotta understand. You can't wait till the last minute. You can't do things the way you want, when you want, and how you want. If your earthly parent wouldn't allow that, understand your heavenly Father is not going to allow that.
That's right. That's right.
You got something you want to bring up?
Go ahead.
All right,
and I just want to say shout out to my son Tony out there. You know that part right there. What I just brought out. Okay.
I don't know what I did, Tony. Give me Isaiah chapter 1, because when we deal with the Most High and we looking for things to be done in joyfulness and gladness of heart, please understand that we didn't just start messing up. We've always been in this state. And that's partially the problem is when you deal with the curses, those were generational curses. That wasn't something that happened like a lot of people like to say, well, that was back then. This is generational. So when you find that this person worshiped white Jesus, guess what? What do they teach their child? White Jesus. And what does that child teach their child? White Jesus. And it continues to go down. Or Muhammad, or Krishna, or whomever, whatever God they believe in. If you observe Christmas, you're going to give your child a great Christmas. And they're going to remember that and say, my dad gave me a great Christmas, so I'm going to give my child a great Christmas. Right. And these things continue on, it's generational. Man. So this is what brings on the generational curses. Would you want to say something else?
Oh, let me just put that precept real quick.
Put that precept real quick.
See, and I think why people keep playing with the Most High, because that's what y'all do. Everybody's going against, Ecclesiastes 8:11. Okay. Yeah, this is exactly why they keep playing with them, and we too, man, because we ain't. Hey, look, we all get cut for we all die daily, man. We got to do that, right? Probably be less of a man to sit up and say that, right? But that's why we keep playing with them.
I got you. Hey, it's a great precept. Hey, this book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
That's exactly why.
Fire.
Look, Jay Cuz, like how you just going into your earthly parents, they can throw a shoe at you. They can get this whole snatching cord and smack you and touch you physically. See, but I don't understand why we would be scared of the physical and we wouldn't be scared of something we don't even know about it yet. Bro, I don't know one person who died and came back and was like, man, that was a bomb. That was a trip. Say, man, whatever you want to do, man, just we gotta read on, huh?
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Then what you just saying? For work upon work upon work. Yeah. That's white Jesus, white Jesus, white Jesus. Yeah, for just because the Most High came out and slapped white Jesus, like I did Bill and them, keep those statues, did a whole bunch of, Most High stuff. Yeah, that's why we keep playing with them, though, for real. But what we got to do is keep the commandments and live, man. But that's all I had, bro.
Read verse 12.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. What? Verse 12. I got you. Verse 12.
Yeah,
though a sinner do evil 100 times.
So even though you think you getting it, you know what? Well, I've been doing Christmas all these years.
That
right?
Part.
Read.
And his days be prolonged.
My grandmama ate pork and she lived to be 98 years old.
Right. Somebody told me that the other day.
Read.
Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God.
So we know that if we keep these commandments, that it's gonna be well with us because we fearing the Most High. We trying to serve the Most High with what? Joyfulness and gladness of heart. It's sincerity. Read.
which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked.
But what?
But it should not be well with the wicked.
Yeah, so grandmama might have lived that long. But watch this. How did grandmama die at 98? She wasn't at full strength.
Probably had one leg.
Alzheimer's and
Probably had one leg.
And wait, I was gonna say she had. We just call it diabetes, but I know a lot of people call it the sugars. Remember that?
The sugars. That's for some of y'all time,
right? Read it or not?
But it should not be well with the wicked. Neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feared not before God.
Because he feared not the Most High. And so we look at things. The Most High said he observed the spirit, while we as fleshly people, we observing everything that's in the flesh. So we look at grandmama living to 98 and we thinking, man, see, she all right and she ate pork, but how was grandmama health at 98? And if she lived to be 98 while eating pork, imagine how much longer and how much stronger she would have been if she didn't. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 1. You had something you want to throw out?
I got nothing.
That was all you wanted to throw out there? Give me Isaiah chapter 1.
Verse 19.
And start at verse 19.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
I'm going to wait like 3 more seconds for y'all to get there. Okay, 1 and 19. If ye be willing and obedient.
Wait, if you be what?
If you be willing and obedient.
So you got to be willing and obedient. Just a quick, simple understanding. And I hope this ain't too coarse. So you dealing with a woman and you like, oh, let's go up to my house. We're trying to get that in, right?
Big time.
And if she's not willing and you take it anyway, what is that called?
Ooh.
That's a crime.
Big time, right?
That's murder.
So here you are. You got to be willing and obedient. So it's one thing to be obedient, right? Like I said, your dad say, hey, go take out the trash. Right?
And I'm like,
right. You doing all of that. Okay. So you being obedient by taking the trash out, but you're not willingly doing it.
Right.
And we need to be willingly. And so I pulled this because there are those of us who I know that I've shared the truth with different people, and I'm sure that you have, and then we all have. And you share the truth with people, and they say, "Okay, I'm gonna try it," but just how they say it already lets you know, like, you're not even willing. You might not work. You might not spend no money. You might not buy or sell on the Sabbath day, but you're not even doing it willingly. You're just being obedient. The Most High don't want you to just do it. I don't want you to just do it. I don't want you to just make me a plate. I would rather it be something like, yeah, I'll make you a plate. That ain't nothing. I don't want you to take out the trash and stomp off doing it. Hey, you want me to take it? I got you, Dad. Don't even trip on that.
Right.
It's trash. And everything that you've done for me, Dad.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take out the trash. Yeah. Right? But no, what we got a problem with is we need things to go. We need things to be the way we want it to be. So because the Most High says, I don't want you to eat pork. I don't want you to celebrate Christmas. I don't want you to do this. When we bring out the truth and people who say, yeah, I'll try it, or yeah, I'm gonna do it. When you're not willing, it might as well be a null and void act. Go ahead and finish that for me. Huh?
Verse
start at 19.
19. Book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 19. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land.
See, we'll be blessed and we'll eat the good of the land, right? Read.
But if you refuse and rebel.
So now, notice he gave you two ways about it. And you're going to find this again a couple of times in my lesson. So he said, you know what? If you be willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, read.
Ye should be devoured with the sword.
With the what?
With the sword.
That's war. That's black on black crime. This the reason why we can't escape it. We hate ourselves and the other nations hate us too. Because we don't have the Most High in us. We don't want to serve the Most High. We have an issue with doing the things that are pleasing unto him. You got something you was gonna pull?
Nah.
You got something you want to pull?
Go ahead.
Stay in Isaiah. chapter 1. And now just go up to verse 2.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna just mention something, okay? Okay, so you say you be devoured by the sword. So y'all have to understand that the Lord's sword is Esau. Okay, that is the wicked, and that is the border of wicked, and that's why we mainly the earth is really given to the hand of the wicked, man. His sword is Esau, man. That's the Lord's belt for us, man. All right, I just want to put that out there. Okay, you said jump to verse 2.
Jump to verse 2.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth.
Stop right there. So these things, when you'll find all over the Bible, all over this whole, not just in Isaiah, all over the Bible, where he called upon heaven and earth to bear witness against us. I'm gonna tell you, this is why we have all these crazy, this crazy weather, because we are out of order. He gonna make the weather be out of order. This is why the earth and outer space, everything out, because these things are bearing witness against us. The Most High said, man, you know what? My holy people, my special people, my children, y'all not in sync with me. Nothing gonna be in sync. You know what's gonna be in sync? Esau, and that sword against you. I almost said something else. Go ahead, read.
For the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children.
So he brought up these children. What did I just say? Man, yeah, Dad, I take out the trash for everything you've done for me. You've nourished me up. You brought me up, right? Read.
And they have rebelled against me.
Read.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So we already understand the ox is a dumb animal, and the ass is a stubborn animal. But they know what's up. They know who they belong to. They know who they're supposed to submit to. You know what? The stubborn animal and the dumb animal see their owner and say, you know what? It's time for me to plow. It's time for me to carry. You know why? Because at the end of the day, he gonna give me oats. He gonna give me water. He gonna put me in this. He gonna put me in this barn. He gonna make sure I'm good. They could be stubborn against the master. He could be a stubborn animal and feel like I'm not gonna do no work. Animals have their own minds too, but because they see who have brought them up and nourished them, as verse 2 says, they obey with joyfulness and gladness of heart and sincerity. Read.
Right. It's like and I'm just saying, and some animals you can take them out miles away from home, and they'll find their way back. Yeah. Israel, what? Okay, let's get that. Verse 3 from the top.
Bring it up.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Read.
But Israel does not know.
Read on.
My people do not consider.
They don't consider. We don't even consider what the Most High wants. We don't consider. I got a personal relationship with my Jesus. I got a personal relationship with God. But you don't know what he wants.
What's his favorite?
You don't consider what he wants. What's his favorite? What's
his favorite flower?
Come
Who's
on.
his favorite people? Say,
because guess what? When you want to get with that, you at the club and you see your girl and you trying to mack her down. Guess what? You gonna start considering what's her favorite. Where you like? You want to go out to eat? Well, where you want to go eat at?
Nah.
You know what? I'll take you over there. Right? Then y'all start getting close. Then what? You know what? I know you like them shoes. I bought some shoes because you consider what is pleasing to her. We got to consider what the Most High was pleasing to the Most High, so we can serve the Most High. But then we got to do it with what? Joyfulness, gladness, and heart, and what? That's right. Sincerity.
I was just saying, you got to be sincere, man.
Read on.
Verse 4. Sinful nation.
What do you call us?
Sinful nation.
A sinful nation. He tired of us, man. Read.
A people laden with iniquity.
We laden with it. It's all over. There's nothing we can do about it. Read.
A seed of evildoers.
A seed of what?
A seed of evildoers.
Read.
Children that are corrupters.
We corrupters. Think about this. And I like that. Not that I like that, but just pay this attention. As soon as you start pulling out the scriptures, your friends will try to corrupt your righteousness. Whatever you used to be about, they see you trying to be righteous. They want to pull you back into that.
That's right.
I know some young people as they begin to come into the truth, high schoolers, early college age, and when they started experiencing life, the world made it difficult. They were laughed to scorn. They were treated not the same as the rest of the crowd because you too good. You a goody. So you gonna ostracize me because I'm trying to be righteous?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm supposed to be separate from y'all anyway.
Big con.
If all you young people out there dealing with that, y'all you above and better than that anyway. So you're supposed to sever yourself from those people anyway. They mind not even where yours is. Read on, all right?
Verse 4 from the top. All sinful nature, a people laden with iniquity,
Read.
a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away
backwards. Man, we do everything in the world to try to go forward, but we going backwards. Running hard, running real hard, not going nowhere. You got something you want to pull up?
I want to pull away the shoulder. Just because what you was talking about, Zechariah 7 and 11.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, Israel is just, man.
Bring that out.
All I can say is, dang. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just read that. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 11. My bad. Sure. Well, go ahead and read out.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
But they refused to hearken.
Man. And so many times, I got a coworker. I told her, hey, I have a solution to one of your problems. She said, problem, just come here. I got to do a script. Sometimes she listens, but sometimes she just kind of want to do it. I say, you really can't fix that on your own. She refused to listen, man. Go ahead and read.
And pulled away the shoulder.
A lot of times Israel pulled away the shoulder, man. Sometimes we out at camp. We be out there calling brothers and sisters, trying to wake brothers and sisters up. Hey, we just asked for a few minutes of your time. A lot of brothers and sisters ain't really got nowhere to go, man. They pull away the shoulder, man. They ain't trying to hear it. Read.
And stop the ears.
They stop up their ears. They might turn their headphones all the way up, and they could probably it probably don't even be no music playing. Right. It don't be no music playing, and they can hear everything you're saying, but then they just walk right on by you like they don't hear you, man. They stop up their ears. Then what?
That they should not hear.
Hear. The Most High, like you say, just because grace abound, it don't mean that we can just keep sinning, man. The Lord is actually giving us a chance to come back, man. He's always giving us a chance to come back, and we just take advantage of that thing. People don't hear the Most High, they don't know the Most High, man. All right, I'm gonna start right there. Go.
Nope, read 12.
Verse 12. Go ahead.
Yea, they made their hearts as adamant stone.
Adamant stone. You know what somebody mean when they say I'm adamant about this? You know what that mean? They sincere.
Damn. Hey, that's spirit, man.
They sincere.
Man.
Read.
Lest they should hear the law.
So they made their hearts sincere, like, I don't care what you bring out. I'm not hearing that. Read.
And the words which the Lord of hosts had sent in his spirit by form of prophets.
By what?
By form of prophets.
So when we pull out all these prophets, Jeremiah, Zechariah, Isaiah, Ezra, Moses, they don't want it. That heart is a stone, a sincere stone. Read.
Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
And this is why, going back into Deuteronomy 28, when we read the few curses in Deuteronomy 28, this is that fierce wrath. Because we serve the Most High, not with we're lacking the joyfulness and gladness of heart, right. And sincerity. That's all you want. You got something you want to throw out there? Give me Jeremiah chapter 23, and start at verse 32.
Book of Jeremiah chapter 23 and 32. Book of Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams.
So he's against us who prophesy these false dreams, right? What are these false dreams? Read on that.
Saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies.
So by these lies, which is what? The law is done away with.
All that.
Then you don't got to celebrate that. That was from back then. I heard one dude say, "Oh yeah, they supposed to keep the people who's supposed to keep the Passover or the Sabbath. That's for the priests." I done heard all kind of off the wall stuff, right? That's a lie, because you'll find over and over again where he says, "Unto all Israel." saying to the children of Israel.
Israel.
He don't say to the priests, because he do have stuff that's said strictly to and for the priests. He has things that are strictly to and for the women. But when it say all Israel, it means just that.
All Israel.
So that's making the people the heir. Oh, I don't gotta do the laws. My pastor said that we under the new covenant.
That part.
We have the grace, brother.
Great. So we can just do whatever the hell we want to do.
Right. So because I'm under grace, I can do whatever I want to do. Man, listen. If that's the case, if the law, we ain't gotta do the commandments no more. If that's the case, it's some sins. I need to be getting in real quick.
I think they think the Most High's law is like the law of the land, changing every 2 or 3 years. Is that what y'all really think is going on around here? All this new covenant jibber jabber and this, that, and the third is the law done away with. Fam, how about starting to keep one law? Just start there.
Just start with one.
Just start with one.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Master that one first.
And go from there. Because I got a question for all you Christians, like for real, for real. How long have y'all been Christians? What has changed? Just like the Christian church, for real. Y'all been going on 42 years, putting that money in the collection plate for the building fund, for the collection plate. That's what changed. The pastor car and y'all well-being, and that's about it. Like, cause ain't nothing else changed in the Christian church since I've been going to church. It's a little itty bitty jit, man. Look, ain't nothing. Hey, you gonna sing some songs that organ inspired.
Yeah,
that organ.
That organ.
Who is it? I think Maccabees said that organ is the Holy Spirit.
That organ is the Holy Spirit.
Yeah,
Shout out to Capt, man.
Pastor P danced too many times off in church, man. Like, y'all stop that, man. Come on, let's keep some of these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So we can get on up out of here, hard-headed, rebellious people. Why you think we keep reading the same old scriptures, man? Week in, week out, class in, class out. Come on, man. Jeez.
One quick point, because we're in the middle of Jeremiah chapter 23 and 32, but we were talking about grace. In fact, we had said this a few times, and I kept thinking about this precept. I'm gonna just read this precept, y'all. Hey, don't be mad, man. I just be laughing. My brothers be laughing because I read my own precepts, man. Sometimes I can't help it.
You can't help it, so
okay. And it's real short. It's real quick. This is Romans chapter 6 and verse 2. Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead,
The book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
God forbid.
Well, start in verse 1.
Verse 1. The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 1. What shall we say then?
What shall we say then?
Should we continue in sin?
Shall we continue to do whatever the hell we want to do?
That grace may abound.
That grace may abound.
God forbid.
What did it say?
God forbid.
God forbid. Okay, go ahead, continue reading.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
That's right, man. We can't just keep adding sin upon sin upon sin just because we're under grace, Christians. He said, God forbid. There's many other precepts on that, but I gotta I gotta finish this class. All right.
What God forbid mean?
It means
hell no.
Okay. Just for you two.
Hey, everybody say it at the same time.
Yeah. As in one voice.
Yeah, everybody out in the audience said it at the same time. That was tight. Okay.
Go back to Jeremiah 32.
23 and 32.
23 and 32, yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start from the top. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams.
Stop right there. Also, those false dreams is all those mainstream mega church pastors that's preaching that prosperity doctrine. Man, y'all should stop doing that, man. Because the only people prospering is you.
No way. But they just got bro. Just saying.
TD Jakes, man, they expounding over about it. You know, hey, they making some houses. They got 2-3 schools in the neighborhood. What more could you possibly want, bro? Say TD Jakes so popular. I don't know about them other ones. TD Jakes got it going on smart. He got his own Bible, y'all.
What?
Yeah.
The TD Jakes version?
Yeah.
And the houses that's over there, man, you can't just get into them houses like that.
Oh, he can't. We've been paying time.
Man, that's crazy. You got a big old neighborhood, but it really ain't for a congregation like that, man.
I can't remember what pastor it is. One of these mainstream mega church pastors, one of his members, of course, after paying all the tithes and offerings and helping this pastor achieve and accumulate all this wealth, fell on hard times, couldn't pay his rent or something like that, and asked the church if they could help him out.
That ain't even funny.
Man, what they say, bro? That's the brother. What they tell, bro?
It's so silly.
He was booed out the church.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now, actually, if we ain't got to get it, but that's exactly what tithes and offerings are supposed to be for. It's supposed to help your congregation, not to help yourself.
That part.
Go ahead.
Okay, we'll finish 32.
Uh-huh.
I'm starting from the top again. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their likeness.
They say they take the law of light. If it's a light thing, read.
Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them.
So the Most High didn't send them. So if your pastor not teaching law, statutes, and commandments, they're not sent of the Lord.
Malachi 2:7, the precept for that.
Oh, okay. He was gonna do it. Go ahead, read on.
Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all.
See, they haven't done us any good. Saying who?
Saith the Lord.
The Lord telling you that your priests, your ministers, your pastors, they don't profit us. They do us no good at all. Read on.
Come on. Verse 34.
33.
Salakia. And with his people, or the prophet, or priest.
So when the people, or the prophet, or the priest. So he said the congregation, or your pastor, or your priest, read,
shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of the Lord?
So they saying, what is the burden of the Lord? When they saying that, understand that they're calling the Most High's word a burden. Man. Read on,
That's crazy. Thou shalt then say unto them, what burden?
See, we supposed to be like, what you talking about? What burden? A burden? Nigga, I love this.
Right.
Read.
I will even forsake you, saith the Lord.
See, the Most High gonna forsake us for feeling like that. As soon as you bring out the Sabbath day, and they feel like, I can't do what on Saturday? If you can't go to the mall on Saturday, if you can't go to 7-Eleven on Saturday, guess what? They open on Sunday. The next day. Right. Guess what? When the sun go down, they still open. The places are still open.
But everybody else is going on Saturday though.
Right. So it's a burden.
It's a burden because everybody else doing it. But see, that's Israel. That's Israel right there.
The book of Deuteronomy tells us don't follow a multitude in the wickedness, man. Read on that.
Verse 34 from the top. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house.
So you keep feeling like that, and watch you and your household gonna get punished for feeling like this word is a burden. Read on that.
Thus shall Salakia, verse 35. Thus shall you say every one to his neighbor and every one to his brother.
Read.
What hath the Lord answered?
So what did the Most High say? See, remember in Isaiah we just read where he said we don't consider. So then when you like, well, when we start understanding like, oh yeah, the Most High real. The Most High will smite you. So then you like, okay, well, what's the answer? What the Most High say about it? Well, I like girls and boys. What's the answer on that? Right? And then when you hit them, like, yeah, that's an abomination. That's the A-bomb. Now it's don't judge me.
Right.
Well, I'm not judging you. The Most High judging you. Read.
What hath the Lord spoken?
So when they say, what's the answer? What did the Lord say? Read.
And the burden of the Lord shall ye mention no more.
They don't want. You know what? We ain't even gonna tell you. The scripture already tell you it's gonna come a time where it's the shortest of the word being heard around the world. Y'all gonna keep playing and y'all gonna.
That's right.
Where them Israelites at?
No, they gonna be looking.
We need them.
Why I've been trying to warn people.
I need to understand it. Man, I was gonna try. Man, I was just waiting until
to this week right here.
To get my life right.
We know.
Right. Well, scripture say, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, while he is near unto you. Right. Read.
For every man's word shall be his burden.
So your thought, your philosophy. Guess what? Every time we pull out the scriptures, what's one thing everybody like to say? Well, I feel. Well, what you think and how you feel is gonna be your burden.
Is it in there? I'm still looking for it.
Nah, the
I'm
Lord don't
still
do that.
looking,
Yeah.
man. I'm
Yeah,
still
the Lord
looking for
don't
people.
care how
I'm
you
still looking for
feel,
what people
man.
think about and what people feel. I'm still looking for it.
It
I'm
ain't
trying to
in
let y'all know.
It ain't in there.
Yeah, that's
Man.
pretty simple there too.
Read on. All right.
For ye have perverted the words of the living God.
What did the priests, pastors, and ministers do?
For ye have perverted the words of the living God.
So they perverted it by the laws done away with. You can eat anything as long as you pray over it. You know what? God hate the sin and love the sinner. Come as you are. I got so many.
Man, we can't find that, man.
I got so many. You can't find none of that stuff we just read.
None of that. You can't find none of that.
You can't find none of that in the scripture.
Hey, Salakia, man, when I came to the truth, I just saw, how you got that zeal, you first come in, and you find out all the things that Christians teach you that is not in here.
Yeah.
Man, and I brought it to some people, and they like, yes, it is, and then I give you $100 right now.
If you
and
find
they
it,
look at it, and they Googling it, saying it ain't in there. It ain't in there, and it's just crazy how many lies that we've been taught, man.
It's even crazier that you show them that it ain't in there, and guess what?
And they still
rocking
pull
with
away
that.
from the show. I don't think I'll say that, but you brought it up. They still pull away from the show.
Yahweh Shah is not a cracker with long hair, man.
He not a hippie.
He not.
Hey, and that thing, and that thing is branded in our brains. And they, man, people can't shake that, man. You know.
Read
We
it.
on 37.
Yeah.
Verse 37. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, what hath the Lord answered thee? And what hath the Lord spoken?
So what? So now we supposed to be hitting them. Hit up. Go ask them. What did the Lord say? What did the Lord say about this? Read.
But since ye say the burden of the Lord.
So since you call this a burden, read.
Damn. Therefore, thus says the Lord.
So this is what the Most High gonna say. Since you feel like this is a burden, this is what the Most High is saying to you.
Because you say this word, the burden of the Lord.
Because you say it's a burden, read.
And I have sent unto you, saying, ye shall not say the burden of the Lord.
Don't call my word no burden, read.
Therefore, behold, even I, will utterly forget you.
No, you're gonna love me because I got a personal relationship.
I will utterly forget you.
Well, but I love Jesus.
I will utterly forget
and
you.
You're gonna forget about you. So you think you're doing well. I got this car. I live here. Well, we already read that it said, the sinner may have these things for now, right? The wicked gonna have these things for now, but it ain't gonna be right with the Most High when they see him, right? Read.
It's like a precept for this that we're talking right now. It's Hosea chapter 4. Read that. Lord utterly forgot you. Okay, verse 39. Therefore, behold, even I will utterly forget you.
Read.
And I will forsake you.
And he will what?
And I will forsake you.
One more time.
And I will forsake you.
He will forsake you because you don't want to hear this. Because this is a burden on you. Because you're not serving with joyfulness and gladness of heart and sincerity. Read.
And the city that I gave you and your fathers.
Read.
And cast you out of my presence.
He's going to cast you out of, man, you're not even in his presence. He forgot you. He forsaken you. And you're not even in his presence. Wrap this up in verse 40.
Verse 40. And I will bring an everlasting reproach unto you, upon you.
Everlasting what?
And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you.
Now, black women, no shot at you because I'm going to get on us as men as well. But black women, so-called black women, Salakia, understand this. Listen, you indigenous women as well. When they depict you on TV, you have an attitude. You know what they call that? You being strong.
Strong black woman, man.
But anytime they show the white woman, she's beautiful, she's soft, she's submissive. Even when she's strong, she's beautiful, soft, and submissive. Right? Guess what? The Asian woman, beautiful, soft, submissive.
You so strong.
I'm a strong black man. Right? Think about this. Think about how the other nations are beautiful, soft, submissive. You have an attitude. And they don't call it an attitude, they call it strong. Guess what? You're independent.
Independent.
You know what that means? That why aren't they independent? Because they understand that the human species is codependent. The man relies on the woman and the woman relies on the man. That's codependency. Right. The Most High made us to be codependent on one another. But guess what? When you deal with the black woman, you are an independent, a strong, independent black woman, right?
Women, the black women, man. Hey, I'm gonna get on the men too. Like I say, the women have the emasculate spirit on y'all. That come from wearing damn pants too. They have a master spirit, and the men are like feminine to the mug, man.
Yeah.
It's like the roles just switch, man. Okay.
Real quick,
All
just
right.
let me back up what you said. The other nations have hair salons.
Right.
Y'all got beauty shops.
Beauty
Come on,
shop.
man. Come on now.
It's beauty shop.
It's beauty shop for y'all, but they got hair salons. What's the difference?
Right.
Well, they wear extensions too. They trip me out to find that the
Yeah.
Esau and they be wearing.
Yeah, me too.
No. Esau and them wear weave too. They
Yeah.
tripped me out when I found that extensions was what they talking about. I say, oh man,
Yeah.
he changed the name, changed the game.
Yeah.
Man. Say, man, wow.
So this is that reproach. This is why you're considered independent and strong, and they're beautiful and this and that. This is why when think about this, Israelite women, we've been wearing cornrows for years. It wasn't popular. It just was the hairstyle we wore. Sometimes it was just the hairstyle we wore in between hairstyles. Just to tie your hair down. The Kardashians wear cornrows. It's called boxer braids, and it's officially a worldwide phenom.
Wow.
Man,
It's a repro. Everything we do is,
man, I was just gonna say everything we
flipped.
do. I mean, like I said earlier, man, we are the salt of the earth, man.
I was
We
just
really,
thinking about
man,
that.
we're really the creator of all things. Everything we do, the nation's find they take it from us, man, and say y'all are nothing.
Mhm.
Everything, hey, we wear gold teeth, they wear gold teeth. We rap, they rap. It's some Ammonite rapper somewhere, and they kind of going hard a little bit though. Hey, if we say I got pants, they say they damn pants.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, huh?
Hey, like they take stuff, but they called us black, but they called themselves white.
Right.
That should stop right there. Like, black and white.
Crazy.
Wow.
Finish that up for me.
Verse 40. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten.
Now, guess what? They trying to tan so they can be darker, but in Jamaica it's a big deal where they got bleaching
They
cream.
skin, I say lightening their skin.
Oh,
Right? It's a shame.
it's a shame.
Guess what? Now, listen, sisters. I don't have a problem. I don't know what it's called, the hot comb, right? Really don't have no problem with y'all doing that. But you trying to make your hair look like
theirs, man. That part.
And when you deal with the science behind hair, that's your spiritual antenna. And I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but it talks about how this one brother, he breaking it down, and he explained how that straight hair is a 1, because that's about as much spiritual energy as it can connect with. This is why what we call nappy hair is really tightly curled, right? So that's a 9, because it comes out your hair straight and then it curls down around, right? That's a 9, because it's considered an ethereal antenna, which is spiritual antenna. That's what ethereal means. And we're on a 9 level. This is why our hair can do all things. I can braid it, I can curl it, make it curly, I can
Lock it.
lock it up, I can straighten it, I can throw it out, I can do anything I want with it.
And all these other nations, they gotta spray a bunch of damn.
They gotta do something to it.
They gotta spray stuff on their hair, mousse to make their hair whole, man.
They gotta do
I would
something
just
to
do
it.
that, man. And man, we are the best people, and man, we need to learn how to love ourselves. Hey, it was the one quick story. It was this lady, it's an African lady at my job. All right, she went back home for like a month or so. She was gone for like a month and a half. Man, she was a dark skinned lady, man. This lady came back light skinned. And when I seen her, she was like, hey, and I'm like, I know you. But damn, her skin was light. Like, what the hell did you do to yourself?
Right.
But that's that damn lighting, man. The earth gets in the hand of the wicked, man. Everybody learn, everybody want to be them, man. But y'all need to know that y'all are the best. They want to be you, like
I was gonna say, we trying to be them, but they want to be us. Watch this. Name me a basketball player growing up. Name me a basketball player that looked at Larry Bird, a black basketball player looked at Larry Bird and said, I want to be like that. Or looked at John Stockton and said, I want to be like that. Nah.
It's the other way around.
You know what they do? They go look at Luka Doncic. They love him out here in Dallas, right? And when you talk to him, who the first person he said he wanted to be like? LeBron.
Yep, the other way around.
Simple. Go. I used to. One of my favorite white basketball players, Jason Williams, White Chocolate. His game, that wasn't a white man game. Yeah. He was trying to be like Allen Iverson. Simple. It's ready for you to see right off the bat. Right? You got something you want to pull? Give me Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. It's funny that you said
Hosea 4. Damn, hold on. Yeah,
it's funny that you said that.
Wow. Okay.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Man.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Okay, read.
I will also forget thy children.
Read.
As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame.
We're gonna take that from the top again, but look how you say my people. So before you say that everybody is his people, that's possessive pronoun. Right? So take that from the top one, Miak.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
So we lack knowledge. Do we lack knowledge? Read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
What we did is we rejected knowledge. That's what happened. The knowledge of the scriptures. We rejected truth. We rejected universal. I like to call it universal knowledge. It's universal and practical knowledge. Because no matter how you look at it, you can apply this to your life every day. You can apply it to, if you got a garden, you can apply the sciences of the Bible in your garden. Yep. You got children, you can apply raising your children, the science of child rearing according to the Bible. Guess what? You got a business, you can apply that law.
Oh, praise.
So no matter how you see it, this right here is the knowledge that we rejected. We'll go to anybody else's college, university, trade school. We'll do all of that, but we will not pick this up. And when we do, what we do? We might read a song, a proverb here or there.
John
3:16, and put it down. Never really observing, as a brother pointed out. We never studied, right? Read on.
I will also reject thee.
So because we rejected the knowledge that the Most High gave us, these law, statutes, and commandments, he's rejecting us now. And what?
Shalaki. That thou shalt bring no priest to me.
So what is a priest's job? A priest's job is to give you clarity and understanding on what is acceptable and what is not acceptable with God. This is where the Catholic Church gets the whole confession concept from, because they feel like you're supposed to confess your sins, and then he tells you what you're supposed to do so that you can be back within the presence of the Most High. Y'all, forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I haven't come to confession in over 7 years. Okay, well, just go off and say 7 Hail Marys and you'll be all right. That don't make no sense. I'm gonna say this prayer 7 times and now I'm 100. I can go back to not coming to church ever again.
I mean, that's basically the same thing that the Baptist church do. Hey, you go to church, sing a song, pay some money, everything's all good. Right after church, we go for poach out sandwiches.
It's like candy, man.
Like candy, man.
I'm serious. Like they really say that at the Catholic Church.
Yeah. Or it
might be. It depends on what you do.
You're right.
So it could be like you gotta say 7 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers.
Right. Yeah.
Trying to sound a big Catholic, that's easy.
Right?
God forbid. Man.
So this is why you say you should be no priest to me, because really us, you so-called blacks, you so-called indigenous, we supposed to be the ones showing the world how to do stuff, how to be right with the Most High. I was talking with my mother not long ago, and we were saying how, and I'm sure some of you young people may not relate, but I know that y'all gonna relate to this. Growing up, if I went in an airplane and decided to jump out of a moving airplane, you know what black people would say? Man, that's some white shit. Right?
Big guns.
Wait, so you would have swim with the sharks? Oh man, that's some white shit, right? And now notice this. You don't hear that as much no more. You You know why? Because we rejected knowledge, and we chasing after the things that the heathens do. So now we're no longer the priests. We don't show you what the right shit is.
All right.
Like, no, don't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be, don't. You jumping out of an airplane? Why would you do that? Does the airplane work?
And swimming with sharks.
Why would you do that? You would swim with the sharks? Why would you do that?
Swimming with the stingrays and get stuck in the damn.
Right. Then we said when that happened, when you get bit by the shark, you fall out the airplane, your parachute don't know, like, well, why'd you jump out anyway?
And now in SeaWorld, these damn whales eating up them damn trainers.
Destroying, man. It's a whole documentary about it.
Man, that ain't no but the Most High. Got them big ass animals in the last tanks, man. Esau, man.
Let me get a precept real quick.
Okay,
go ahead. On this.
What's that?
Man, I got to bring out this first Maccabees 1:41.
Okay.
Because whenever you talking about it's white people stuff and all of this stuff, I'm gonna say excuse my French. Red people, it's Rojo man stuff. Rojo man. Okay.
Rojo.
Okay. Book of First Maccabees. You got it.
Hold on, I got you. All right, so how you gonna tell me?
No. Go ahead. I'll pray.
What's that? First Maccabees 1 and what?
41.
One of the First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
All right, let's take out the King Antiochus. Joe Biden, wrote to the whole USA. Says, hey, everybody go take the corona shot. Like everybody go do it right now. Hey, children, y'all go take it too, man. But read on, all right.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave his laws.
Whoa, that's listen, a good
precept.
Yeah, we was doing our own thing, man. Right? Listen, because I'm scared of heights. I'm 6'7", but I'm scared of heights. Everybody in the world knows it who knows me. I don't play with heights. So to go jump up in that plane for like the Rojo man gonna do, like, read on.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Now, if you ain't keeping the commandments, man, you got to be. You have a little heathen off in you, man. And y'all listen to Joe Biden like we don't have a king already.
That's right.
That's all I had.
Hey, you on fire tonight.
Fire.
I just want to let you know that, okay?
Fire.
Hey, but can I bring out 2 quick precepts?
Bring it out.
Hey, y'all, look. These are 2 quick ones, okay? These are 2 quick ones. Like, kind of when I said, brothers and sisters, write these down. These are great precepts. I mean, your Bible should be full of writing, okay? The 2 precepts for Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. The first one is Job chapter 36 and 12. Let's go ahead and bring these out real quick.
36, 12.
Yeah, I ain't gonna espouse on these are straight to the point. Job chapter 36 and 12.
The book of Job, chapter 36, verse 12.
Start at verse 11.
Verse 11, right with a pencil.
If
they obey, the book of Job, chapter 36, verse 11. If they obey and serve him.
If they obey and serve the Most High God, what?
They should spend their days in prosperity.
And that don't necessarily mean money, but I'm pretty sure
that's included.
Money is included.
Right.
But you spend your days in prosperity. Go ahead.
And their years in pleasure.
Years in pleasure, man. Not in grief, man. How we living our years in grief right now? Read.
But if they obey not.
But if you don't listen to the Lord our God, hey, Deuteronomy chapter 28:15. How you can read?
They shall perish by the sword.
They shall perish by the sword. The same thing that Hosea 4 and 6 said. Okay, let's get the one more. Baruch chapter.
Finish that. Yeah, finish that.
And they shall die without
knowledge. They shall not without knowledge. My bad, I jumped the gun. So it's the same thing. Hosea 4 and 6 saying the same thing. Why people destroy for lack of knowledge. You're gonna die without knowledge. Okay, let's get Baruch chapter 3 and verse 28.
The book of Baruch.
Damn, like you got that quick.
Man,
like, damn.
It's the Most High, man.
Yeah, I'll pray. I say 3 and 28.
And I really love too.
3 and 28.
Gone. The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 28.
Bring it out.
But they were destroyed.
Why were they destroyed?
Because they had no wisdom.
Because they had no wisdom. Read.
And perished through their own foolishness.
Perished through their own foolishness, man. They were destroyed because they had no wisdom. Okay. There's a lot of statutes.
I was just going to say
what's the precept of wisdom? Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Lord say, I gave you law, statutes, and commandments. Let's go ahead and get that real quick.
Book of Deuteronomy,
I want to take a
chapter 4 and verse 6.
Bring it up. Damn.
Keep therefore and do them.
Lord said, keep therefore and do. Damn, Sam, what you on today?
I don't know, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
For this is your wisdom.
Man. Okay.
And understanding.
And your understanding.
In the sight of the
nations. Man. This is what make the laws is what make us special, man. You see, we ain't doing this on our own, man. Like the Lord don't owe us anything. We owe him.
Man.
You see what I'm saying? He's putting us on top, man. His laws shouldn't be grievous, man. His laws should not be grievous to us, man.
We should be doing this.
We should be doing
joyfulness
this and gladness of heart
and sincerity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's
Let me
is that
finish.
it? Okay, go ahead.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Nation is a wise and understanding people. Right now, they're saying, this is just a bunch of niggas.
You know why?
Astonishment.
We used to be wise and understanding. We still kind of have a little wisdom and understanding when we used to be like, man, that's some white shit.
Right. King and the oceans. Yeah, when we got up off the King and the oceans, man.
Reverse the next verse.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6. For what nation is there so great who hath God so nigh unto them as the Lord our God is in all things?
So we right there, it's saying like they're going to look at us and say, what nation is great as these people? Because they got God in everything they do. This is why in slavery they already understood. What is it? By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, where we wept, and they asked us to sing. They used to ask us to sing the.
He just brought their precept out.
They used to ask us to sing the different Negro spirituals, right? They would call on us to sing these Negro spirituals. Yep. They was asking us to sing our Lord's song in this strange land.
Right.
But they was asking us to do that. Why? Because they can't do that.
They can't do what we do, man.
They understand, like, who did they get to dance for them? They didn't get some white folks to dance for them. Who did they get to play the instruments for them? They didn't have Billy Joe Bob go play the fiddle. Right. Go watch Roots. Who played the fiddle? Fiddler.
Fiddler.
Oh, fiddler. Right?
Dang right.
Right? So what nation is there so great who had God so nigh unto them? Like it's just in how we move, how we walk, how we talk, how we dress, how we hoop, how we play football, how we box, man, how we dance, how we sing. It's I think it's in China or Japan. They have a big movement. Gospel choirs.
What? Hey,
they have mastered our sound. You know why? Because y'all don't have your own sound. Y'all still ain't gonna be able to do it as good as us. But what? Who else are you gonna mock? You're not gonna go. Y'all ever been to a white church?
Oh yes,
y'all not gonna mock that.
It sounds like you want a damn horror movie up there.
And it's also one of the most quietest places ever. And the priest talks just like this.
It's unsettling. There's no spirit there.
And they got all those scary ass statues all around.
read the rest of that.
Okay.
As the Lord, our God, is in all things that we call upon him for.
Read verse 8.
And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments? So righteousness.
As what?
As all this law.
See, this right here is righteousness. So you don't need to go to your pastor and find out. Go in this book. Get these laws. Find out what's acceptable and not acceptable. Read on.
Which I set before you this day.
Okay, that's all we need out of that. You got something you want to pull?
No.
You got something you want to pull?
I ain't got nothing.
Go.
Back to 6 or move past that.
We moving past that.
Okay.
Give me Isaiah 30 and 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30. In verse 1, whatever. Woe to the rebellious children.
He said what?
Woe to the rebellious children.
All of you out there that feel like, well, we don't got to do that, or you feel like you got to do your thing, and God and you and God had this personal relationship. You're the rebellious child he's talking to right here. Read.
Saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
See, y'all don't act. We already touched bases on this in the previous scripture that we never considered. So now you need counsel, you need help on something, but you don't go to the Most High to find out what solution the Most High has.
Right, that part.
Because you know why? Because there's a part of you that know that the solution gonna take you back to these laws, statutes, and commandments that you're rebelling against.
Right.
Read.
And that take cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Because the spirit that we cover ourselves with is the spirit of this world. You know what? We go counsel like who was that? I forgot one, and I think it's in the Kings where the king went in council and he didn't listen to his fathers.
Oh yeah, he went to the young boys' council.
That was Rehoboam.
Rehoboam.
Yeah, that was them. Jeroboam and Rehoboam. That was that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
So this is what we do today, ladies. What y'all do? You mad at your husband? You go have a girls' night out and get bad advice from all your single friends.
That part. That's what they do.
That's
what they do,
right? We ain't no better because what we do? Go buy a 40, kick it with the homies, and he tell us a bunch of stuff, knowing damn well he ain't got no woman at home.
That's true.
That's what we take counsel from.
That's what we take.
This is who we deal with.
That's true.
You know what we don't do? Now, what did the Most High say? How I should deal with this?
That's right.
I did go off on her, and the scriptures do say don't be aligned in my own household.
Right.
You know what? I was hard on my son, and it say don't provoke the children.
Right.
You know, we don't look at that. The Most High is giving you. He give you counsel.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, but we reject it because it's going to require us. For one, I know my people. For one, it requires us to read.
Come on, let me get it. Come on. I couldn't believe you said that. Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
If I could put the scriptures and have it on YouTube so y'all can watch it, it might have a better chance. But the fact that it requires you to read, it requires you to turn the TV off, it requires you to turn the music off, it requires you to focus on something, you're gonna fight against it.
Uh-huh.
Number two, for sure, you're gonna rebel against it because it's gonna bring you back to it's gonna give you the correction of the law, statutes, and commandments. You scared of that? Yeah. Read, wrap that up for me.
Isaiah 31.
30 verse 1. He was reading.
Oh, Salakia.
My bad.
Okay, because you was looking over there, so it's like, hey, okay. The book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1 from the top.
Bring it up.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord,
Read.
that take counsel, but not of me.
Read.
And they take a covering with a covering, but not of my spirit,
Read on.
that they may add sin to sin.
And what did we talk about earlier? The generational curses.
Right.
I believed in white Jesus and Christmas, so I'm gonna teach that to my son, and I'm gonna give him a great Christmas, and he's gonna teach white Jesus and great Christmas to his son, and it's gonna continue to go, adding sin to the sin. Right? Read.
Verse 2.
No, you know what? Read it.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
That walked to go down into Egypt.
Because Egypt, spiritual Egypt, is this place in America.
That's right.
And so we trust in this place, right? We vote. And we think that that's going to make a difference in our life. And it hasn't since we've been on this planet. Voting for other people to be over us, the scripture strictly tells us don't do that. Because they're not going to look out for us. They're going to look out for their people and whoever funds. The funny thing about politics, you guys understand the word constituents in politics, because the constituents is what funds these politicians to run. And if you're not running, if you're not funding the run, they don't do anything for you. Prime example, Barack Obama, a so-called black man, ran for president. And all the black people jumped up and voted for him on the strength that he was black. But we weren't his constituents. We didn't fund him running. Do you know who funded his running?
Who funded his running?
Do you know who funded his running?
The Rojo man.
The LGBTQ community.
Oh, makes perfectly good sense. Because ask me that again. I know what's going on now. I do. That's why they got all the rights.
That's why they got all the rights.
We get nothing.
And we got nothing.
Oh.
Read on that. So go ahead and go down into Egypt and what? Read.
Verse 2. To walk to go into Egypt
and what?
And have not asked at my mouth.
See, we come to this place and we ask our politicians.
Mm-hmm.
We'll ask the preacher, the minister, and then you know what? Time to vote. We need solutions. We need schools. We need education. We need morals. Let me ask the politician. Let me ask the government. Read.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Of who?
Of Pharaoh.
And that he already brought up Joe Biden earlier, right? Read.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Read.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
He gonna be our what?
Shall be your shame.
And this is why you couldn't believe when Barack Obama didn't do nothing for you. You felt a sense of shame for that.
You should get a sense of shame.
That.
Some of us still ain't realized he ain't did nothing. Some of us, we don't realize he ain't did nothing for us. Still don't even realize it.
Still don't see it.
Okay.
Read.
And the trust of the shadow of Egypt, your
It's
confusion.
gonna be our confusion because we believe in this.
That part.
We trust in this. You got something you want to pull
I
out?
ain't got that, nah.
Give me. You got something you want to pull
No, I
out?
always got something, but I can't do it like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, go.
All right. Give me Deuteronomy 29
man.
and go to verse 18.
The book.
You ain't there yet, are you?
Become.
Damn, boy.
The book of Deuteronomy.
Oh, you got
There too.
that part. Yeah, because that's what I was doing to you earlier. I had to get right.
The book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 28, verse 19.
Bring it out.
Verse 18. Lest there be among you man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God.
So when we decide to go in and follow after America, or we decide to roll with Christianity or Catholicism or Islam or Buddhism, whatever, all the different isms and schisms, right? Read.
To go and serve the gods of these nations.
Read.
Lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood.
And this is these are things that are rotting away. Okay. Read.
And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart.
So when you come and you deal with this nation and you deal with the different religions, and you or if you deal with yourself and you worship and praise and idolize yourself, and he say you come in the past when you hear the words of the curse, and we know you see us, that's what we pulling out. We're gonna show you the area of your ways, and we're gonna show you the punishment by these curses, right? He said, and he blessed himself in his heart. So you feel like I'm all right, I'm okay, I'm good, I have this, I do that, right? Read.
Saying, I have peace.
I have what?
I have peace.
So you're going to say to yourself, well, I'm good, right? Read.
Though I walk in imagination of mine heart.
Read.
To add drunkenness to thirst.
Now, if anybody has ever had a hangover and you dried out, that's a horrible feeling, man. That's the one thing everybody, I ain't never going to drink again. Guess what? You end up drinking again.
That's what you say.
But you might end up drinking later on that day. But
bring it out,
you ever notice that when you have that hangover and your mouth is dry and sticky and ain't nothing quite staying down, you know what you can't drink? You can't drink a soda. You better not drink no soda. You better not drink it. Go ahead, drink that Sprite. Thinking it's gonna be good. I need the bubbles. Yeah. This is what he's saying. To add drunkenness to thirst. Read.
The Lord will not spare him.
No, the Lord is all love. He what?
The Lord will not spare him.
Read.
But then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall smoke against that man.
It's gonna smoke against that man. Read.
And all the curses that are written in this book.
So we only touched on a couple of curses. We only touched on a couple of them. It's more than what we pulled pulled out. And so he's saying all the curses. Read.
Shall lie upon him, and the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven.
And that's
under heaven.
I'm trying my best every day because I'm afraid for my name to be blotted out with the Most High. So I strive every day to be a better me every day. I'm not perfect. I have my errors and I make mistakes, but I don't want my name blotted out. So every day and every time a scripture cut me, man, I got to go think on that. I need to fix that. Right. It's an adjustment. Benaniyah always say checks and balances. You got something you want to pull? You got something you want to pull? Give me Ezekiel 23 and verse 38.
3 and what?
23.
23.
Yep, verse 38.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 23 and verse 38. And it reads, moreover, this year have done unto me. They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day.
Wait, they did what?
They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day.
That's the temple. Now, yes, we defiled the physical temple, but we defile our physical temples every day with these foods and these drugs and so on and so forth, right? But I'm not. That's a different lesson for a different time. It kind of ties into what we dealing with, though. But read that last part.
And have profaned my Sabbath.
We did what?
And have profaned my Sabbath.
We profane the Sabbath. When you profane something, that means you make it disgusting. And what do we do on the Sabbath day? We want to spend money. We want to go. We want to party. We want to work. We want to work overtime. Most High say take Saturday off. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and get this extra $8
Get the
hours.
little extra money. Get the little extra $200.
We profane the Sabbath day with that. Stay in Ezekiel. Go to chapter 22.
22 and
go to verse 8.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
Thou hast despised my holy things.
The holy things. Like what? Well, let's start with read.
And has profaned my Sabbath.
The Sabbath day. It's a holy thing. We're making it, we're just muddying up the Sabbath day. A righteous and holy day, right? Skip down to verse 26.
Verse 26. Her priests have violated my law.
So who did it?
Her priests have violated my law.
So this is what's happening with in all these different churches. The law is done away with. We under the new covenant. We under grace. You just don't want the correction that the Most High gonna give you. You don't want the direction that the Most High gonna give you. Because you don't intend to serve the Most High, especially not with joyfulness and gladness of heart if it got anything to do with the law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
And have profaned my holy things.
And profane the holy things. Read.
They have put no difference between the holy and the profane.
Now, that's what we did. Because what are people there to say? Well, I can worship God every day. Yeah, you can.
Come as you are.
Come as you are.
That thing right there.
Right? All of those things. Like I said, God hates the sin. Love the sinner.
Sorry.
Right? I got a million of them. Read on.
Neither have they showed difference. Salakia. Neither have they showed difference
between what?
Between the unclean and the clean.
This is why you go to the church breakfast. What they have? They got
bacon, pork sausage,
the catfish.
The catfish fry,
the catfish floor. They got catfish floor
in the church.
In the church.
When the Most High say you ain't supposed to have that kind of nothing like that, even in the temple. So for you to consider that to be the house of the Lord and have those things in there, that's unclean.
The biggest thing, excuse me, like ATM machines. How in the world can you go in an ATM machine, pull out $200 and they still charge you the $350?
And you still charging me that?
You still want to charge me the $350, bro? I'm already finna give you $2, bro. Like, what's up? Like, these people really, y'all haven't been to one of these establishments?
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
I heard some of them churches got the credit card. You know how you can swipe the credit card to the thing, like they pay.
Oh, they got the square and the.
They got the thing where you swipe.
I ain't been to church in a minute.
That's how you want to do your ties? Swipe right here. Read on, all right.
And have hid their eyes from my Sabbath.
They hid what?
And they have hid their eyes from my Sabbath.
So we don't even look. We don't even look towards the Most High. We don't even look for the Sabbath. We don't look. Our eyes are not even focused on those things. Wrap that up.
And I am selected, and I am profaned among them,
because we profane the things of the Most High. So the Most High is like, man, y'all trying to muddy me up. Give me Malachi chapter 2.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
Wait. Say it right, Doc.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
It should. Right? He should keep knowledge. Read.
And they should seek.
They should
seek the law at his mouth.
They should seek the law. That usually when someone is saying should, usually the reason why they're saying it like that is because they're not.
Bring it out, Doc.
Should mean you should put this kind of gas in your tank. You know what that means? That you haven't been doing that. You should go to school. You know what that means? You ain't been going to school.
Teach y'all.
Read.
For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
So the priest is supposed to be the messenger of the Lord of hosts. Right? Give me verse 8.
Verse 8. But ye are departed out of the way.
We've gone out of the way. The way is the Most High and his law, statutes, commandments. Read.
Ye have caused many to stumble at the law.
They stumble at the law because they telling you the foolishness of The law's done away with, and new covenant, and grace, faith, and all these other, like I like to say, schisms and isms. You got something you want to?
Yeah, I got some. Shout out to Captain Jerubbaal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts.
Saith the Lord of hosts.
Okay.
That's him.
All right. So shout out to Captain Jerubbaal. He sent this precept I was looking for. This precept was very good for this class, man. And I brought it out. I was talking about, how your children, like, you tell them to do something and they just read by it. And it's like, you might as well not even do that. That's a precept for that. All right. Give me Sirach chapter 19 and start at verse 21. Sirach 19 and 21.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 21.
Bring it up.
If a servant say to his master,
if a servant say to his master, what?
I will not do as it pleaseth thee.
I will not do it as it pleaseth thee. It grieves you to do this. Okay? Go ahead, read.
Though afterward he do it.
And then he still do it anyways. What?
He angered him that nourished him.
He angered him that nourished him. Okay?
Same thing.
Fire.
Right. So even after you do it, it still ain't really worth nothing. So I'm just saying, even in the truth, a lot of people, it grieves you to come to class. It grieves you to, I gotta come to class. Sometimes we walk up in class with a damn attitude. You know what I'm saying? Even yesterday, I was kind of fussing at my son, right? Previous to me getting in the door, and Captain checked me. Jerubbaal was like, "Hey man, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Oh shit, nothing. Smile, man. Hey, this is a joyous thing. Even if you grieve to come to class, that's even more of a reason to come. That means it's something wrong with you, man. Man, you gotta come here every time. Every time I leave, man, I am in the spirit every time. Every time. It don't matter how I'm feeling, man.
I might come here and don't feel like coming. I might come here and be irritable. But man, I'm gonna say 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes into me being here, I'm like, that didn't wash off.
It just goes away. So like, y'all, let's not waste our time. It's a waste of time even being out at camp. You know what I'm saying? Damn, camp is a little bit longer today. Nah, man, be happy that you abusing your body like that for the Lord, man. You supposed to take joy, man. You supposed to take joy, service. Man. You doing it, man. You doing a great service, y'all. Okay, look, the Lord can hear your thoughts. Sirach 23 and verse 19. Right, I'm gonna just read that real quick because I got it. I'm gonna read it because I had it pulled already. Okay, y'all don't laugh because they laugh. They look at each other and laugh. They got their own inside thing. They be laughing at me. But this is Sirach chapter 23 and verse 19. He reads, "Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts." He knows your thoughts, man. He know your thoughts. Man, don't even murmur in your head, man. We gotta learn how to fear the Most High. All right, go ahead.
You got someone you want to pull?
Nah.
Give me Amos, chapter 8. Start at verse 5.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 5.
Now, this leads us here because remember how it was saying the priest's lips should keep knowledge. And the previous verses before that was saying how we profane the Sabbath day, right? So we was doing things wrong on the Sabbath day, right? So let's see what happens. Read.
Saying, when will the new moon be gone?
See how we feel? Mm-hmm. When the new moon gonna be over with? Read.
That we may sell corn.
So I can go sell.
So I can sell some corn.
Read.
That's crazy. The Sabbath, Salakia, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great.
And the shekel, so making the ephah, I mean, it's something that we sell. Small, I mean, it's gonna go from having a lot, then we're gonna sell it so it can be a little bit, and the shekel gonna be great, meaning our money gonna increase, right? So this is our state of mind right now. On the Sabbath day, what did he say? Because the new moon is the Sabbath. When will the new moon be gone? When is this going to be over with, man? I'm ready to go spend some money. Or I'm ready to go make some money, right? That we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small, selling, and the shekel great, bringing more money. Read.
And falsifying the balance.
Doing some crooked deeds, right? Read on.
By deceit.
Read.
That we may build, Salakia, that we may buy the poor for silver.
That we going to do what?
That we may buy the poor for silver.
Read on.
And the needy for a pair of shoes.
Read on.
Yea, and sell.
Then do what?
Yea, and sell.
And see, this is what we want to do on the holy days. The Sabbath day, it's a weekly holy day. It's the Sabbath. We can't wait to go buy or sell on that. As if we don't have 7 days throughout the week to get that in, read.
Right. And sell the refuse of the wheat.
Mm-hmm. Read.
The Lord has sworn by the excellency of Jacob. Surely I will never forget any of their works.
He ain't gonna forget that. He gonna hold us accountable for that.
That's right.
You got something before? You?
Yeah. Oh yeah, real quick.
What's that?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and 19. Because we've been saying it all day long. You got his eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got something else. We're gonna do something. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
Now notice I said this earlier, how the Most High uses heaven and earth as witnesses against us.
Read.
That I said before you life and death,
Uh-huh.
blessing and cursing.
Uh-huh.
Therefore choose life,
Uh-huh.
that both thou and thy
thy
seed
seed
may live. Man.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. You got his eyes. We got heaven and earth, man. So that's two witnesses for it. They're saying the same thing, man.
God.
Something you up.
Give me Lamentations chapter 2. So notice how in Amos he said that we couldn't wait for the Sabbath days and the new moons to be over with so we can go back to doing the things that we want to do. Deceitful balances and buying and selling, right? This is how we were back then. So it's no wonder why we feel the same way today. Those of you who aren't in the truth, understand that when you feel like the Sabbath day is a burden, you're not serving the Most High in joyfulness and gladness of heart. If you hear a brother bringing you the truth and he telling you that, you got to celebrate this particular holy day, or he bringing up the Sabbath day, or he even give you a dietary law and you feel like, man, I'll try it out. That's not what joyfulness and gladness of heart. This same spirit that's on you, it's the same spirit that was on them in Amos chapter 8. Give me that Lamentations chapter 2.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
The Lord was as an enemy. He had swallowed up Israel.
Wait a minute. The Lord was as what?
The Lord was as an enemy.
See how we feel about this? Look at it. The burden of the Lord. This is how we looking at it. Like everything the Most High give and bring us, like the scripture said, he nourishing us, right? He brought us up. He put us on high above all nations if we keep the commandments. But we see the Most High as the enemy. Read.
He had swallowed up Israel.
Uh-huh.
He had swallowed up all her palaces.
Mm-hmm.
He had destroyed his strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
He had increased the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation.
Uh-huh.
Verse 6. He had violently taken away his tabernacle.
He had what?
He had violently taken away his tabernacle.
Real.
As if it were of a garden. He had destroyed his places of the assembly.
Mm-hmm. So all of us coming together, read, and what?
The Lord had caused the solemn feast and the Sabbath
to what?
To be forgotten in Zion.
And this is we forgetting these things. We've forgotten them. Why? Because we profaned them. Because we despised them. Because we loathe them. These are all words that we use throughout the scriptures today. Despise, loathe, profane, right? The Sabbath days, the feast days, the law, statutes, and commandments. We see these things as a burden. Read.
And had despised the indignation of his anger, the king and the priests.
Read.
Verse 7. The Lord had cast off his altar. He had abhorred his sanctuary.
That means to strongly hate. Read.
He had given up into the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces.
So this is why we ended up, it's going back into our curses, where no matter what, we were always being conquered by people lower or lesser than us. Read.
They have made a noise in the house of the Lord.
So they came into the house of the Lord and made noise. This is them ransacking our temples, man. Our kingdom. Not even going into the physical things, our nation of people. That was all of that?
As in the day of the solemn feast. That's it on that.
Give me Leviticus 23, 1 through 4. Just so you guys understand the Sabbath day and the holy days, where these things are at.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, because I'm okay. All right.
Oh, you looking up? No, what about it?
No, go ahead. I thought
Sure.
you had that.
You sure? I got it.
I got it.
Okay.
Leviticus was not. I got it.
Chapter 23.
Okay.
Start at verse 1.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord,
So these are the feasts of the Lord, or the holidays, read.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
Uh-huh.
Even these are my feasts.
So these are the feasts of the Lord, and these are holy convocation is a holy gathering. Read.
6 days shall work be done,
Uh-huh.
but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest
Is what?
and holy convocation.
And so right there is telling you that the Sabbath day in itself is a holy gathering. It's a weekly holiday. Read.
Ye shall do no work therein.
Read.
It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
No matter where you at, because I heard some people say, well, that's over in the land of Israel. That's where they're supposed to do that. Read on.
These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations,
Yeah.
which ye shall proclaim in their season.
So each season, we got a different holiday for each season. Give me Sirach chapter 33. We almost done, y'all. I know this is a long lesson, but y'all needed to hear this.
Yeah, y'all need to hear it. You know, don't be grieved right now, y'all. Just
Shouldn't be grievous right now. Right.
Hey, y'all
You better do it with joyfulness and gladness.
Joyfulness and gladness. Y'all better take this lesson.
And sincerity.
Y'all better take all 4 hours of this lesson.
Done.
Bring it out. 33, start at verse 7.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7. Why do it one day excel another?
So one day, why does one day excel another? Why is one day more important than another? For all you out there who feel like, well, I can worship God on every day. I can worship God on every day is the Sabbath day. No, every day is not the Sabbath day. Read on.
Whereas all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
See, they feel like, oh, every day is the same, right? The sun go up, the sun go down, the sun, moon, stars are always there, right? Every day is the same. So what difference does it make? Read.
By the knowledge of the Lord.
By the knowledge of who?
By the knowledge of the Lord.
Not by me, not by us, not by the Israelites, but of the Lord. Read.
They were distinguished.
They were distinguished, meaning they were. He made them different. Something about them was different from every other day. Read.
And he altered the seasons and feasts.
So that this is simple. Read on.
Some of them had he made high holy days.
Okay, so some days are high holy days and some what?
And hallowed them. And some of them had he made ordinary days.
Some are ordinary days. By the knowledge of the Most High was this done. So this isn't our word doing anything. I'm gonna wrap it up. This is gonna be my last precept. You got something you want to pull?
Read that real quick. What you got?
What I got? Deuteronomy 11.
That's out the law. Let me bring something out real quick because I've been holding this.
Nah,
hey, it's
Sam,
real short.
Sam got a law for us today.
Oh, you got the law?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's get Numbers chapter 10 and verse 33 real quick. I've been kind of holding this. I'm thinking about not even bringing it out.
What?
10, chapter 10 and verse 33.
Is this your precept or you?
This is actually, this is just something on the whole thing. No, that's not a direct precept to what he was just.
You got it? You got it?
Oh,
You want me to get it?
yeah, I read it.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse
Check it
33.
out.
And while the flesh was yet between their
Hold
teeth.
on. Numbers 10 and 33.
Shalaki, that was 11.
Okay.
The book of Numbers, chapter 10, verse 33.
Bring it out.
And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey.
Okay, so basically this is the Israelites. This is after we left out of Egypt. All right, go ahead.
And the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in 3 days' journey to search out a resting place for them.
I'll just keep reading.
And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by the day when they went out of the camp.
Okay, read. 35 is a big part of this. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when the ark set forward that Moses said, Rise up, Lord, and let thy enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee.
See, because I brought out, man, look, and he brought this out, man. Look, man, the Lord is the one fighting for us, man. You see what I'm saying? All we have to do is just keep his laws. We murmur, we complain, he set us on high. All we have to do, Lord, scatter my enemies for me. Right. Scatter my enemies. He just scattered the enemies out of the way. Man, we were blessed beyond what you can even think of, man. All right, just keep reading though.
And when it rested, he said, Return, O Lord, unto the many thousands of Israel.
Okay, read chapter 11 and verse 1. Read that.
And when the people complained.
Man, and look, and previous to this, we were murmuring and complaining.
Right.
Look, I was gonna bring out something. Look, man, the Most High want the best for us, really. He man, the Most High want peace for us, man. All right. Jeremiah 29 and verse 10, I was gonna bring that out. It's just showing how the Most High feel about us, man. He want the best for us, just like any parent would. Okay, start off at 11, but y'all keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Go ahead and read verse 1 in chapter 11.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, chapter 11, verse 1.
Bring that out.
And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord.
It displeased the Lord. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord heard it.
And the Lord heard it, man. The Lord can hear y'all, man. He can hear what you're thinking. What?
And his anger was kindled.
And then what happened?
And the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
Man, people just caught on fire, man. Y'all have to learn how to fear the Most High. Man, we don't fear the Most High, man. So Psalm chapter 11 and verse 10. Fear the Lord is keeping the commandment. Look, we ain't got no choice in this thing. You don't have a choice. Either you live or you die. You gotta understand, man, what the Most High is capable of, man. I just want to bring that out. It's really more on this, because even after that, Israel kept after that happened, Israel kept complaining. We gotta eat manna. Well, in Egypt we had onions and this and that.
Right.
After that happened, man.
Right.
And that's how Israel is. I just want to bring that out. Let's make a long story short. All right, go ahead and bring that out.
Give me Deuteronomy chapter 11 and start at verse 22 and then skip to 26. We go.
Okay.
We finna wrap it up.
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 22.
Start at verse 22, yes.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11 and verse 22.
Bring it out.
For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments, which I command you, to do them.
And to what?
To love the Lord your God.
So if you keep these commandments, you'll be loving the Most High God.
Right.
And this is probably our 4th or 17th or 34th time that we didn't pull that out.
1 John 5 and 3, man.
Read.
Okay. To walk in all his ways and to cleave unto him.
Skip down to 26.
Verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse if you would not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
And really, I was thinking of
that's a good precept.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that for my other class later on.
We gonna close out. We gonna really my law of the day.
Yeah, because I had already read your law. It was pretty good, but Sam had a law.
Yeah,
Sam right here, man. Sam.
You know. So I'm gonna close out with basically.
What is it? What Deuteronomy? Exodus. Oh, okay, that's right. Dang.
Exodus.
Oh yeah, I should have known that automatically. Yeah, that's Sabbath day.
28 and 8.
Well, 20 and 8. Yeah.
20 and 8.
20 and 8. Sabbath day.
Bring it up.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 8.
This is our law today, and this is kind of been a focal point on our lesson about serving the Most High with joyfulness and gladness of heart and sincerity.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So he said, remember the Sabbath day. That means you should be looking forward to it. Know when it is. And then when it's there, man, observe the Sabbath day with joyfulness and gladness of heart. Read.
6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work.
Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in the 6th day the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day.
This is when I was going in saying that before God created a Jew, a Greek, a Roman, a Catholic, a Baptist, he already had the Sabbath day established.
Big con.
Let me finish it out.
Yep.
Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Oh.
Bing.